The War Behind the Veil, the story of Daniel and the Angelic Battle. Chapter 1. The Morning Prophet. It was the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia. The air was dry, and the silence of the evening wrapped the city of Babylon like a burial cloth. Daniel, now an old man, had not eaten meat or touched wine in 21 days. He had turned his face toward the heavens, mourning for his people, fasting and seeking divine insight. The visions troubled him. Night after night, images of beasts, of shattered kingdoms and rising empires, of a distant but inevitable suffering for his people, racked his soul. He cried out to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, seeking clarity. But heaven was silent. Chapter 2. The Veil is Lifted. On the 21st day, Daniel stood by the great river Tigris. The sun was just rising when the wind shifted suddenly, and the ground beneath him trembled as though a silent footstep had cracked the earth. He looked up, and what he saw stole the breath from his lungs. A man clothed in linen, his waist girded with gold of Uphaz, stood before him. His body was like beryl, his face like lightning, his eyes like torches of fire. His voice thundered like a multitude. His presence split the fabric of the natural world. Daniel fell on his face, unconscious. The man, an angel, a messenger of the Most High, touched him and raised him to his hands and knees. "Fear not, Daniel," the angel said, "for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words." Daniel looked up weakly, confused. "Then, why did it take so long?" Chapter 3. The Prince of Persia. The angel's face darkened. "But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. Daniel's eyes widened. He understood that this was no earthly prince. The angel spoke of a dark celestial force, a spiritual power who held sway over Persia, a high-ranking principality in the kingdom of darkness. The angel continued, "But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I was left there with the kings of Persia." Chapter 4. The Invisible War. Let us now see what Daniel could not see, the war in the unseen realm. The heavenly realm. Far above the mortal world, beyond the clouds and stars, in the realm of spirits and fire, a war was being fought, not of swords and shields, but of essence and authority, of flame and word, of light against shadow. When Daniel first prayed, his words were caught like arrows in the wind, rising to the courts of heaven. God heard, and immediately a divine messenger was dispatched, Gabriel, the swift messenger of understanding. But as Gabriel descended into the realm of earth, the sky thickened. From the eastern watch, a veil of resistance emerged, a swirling citadel of darkness. There he met him, the Prince of Persia, a dominion-class fallen angel, clothed in smoke and iron, crowned with the sigil of empire. His wings stretched across the eastern horizon, and with him were the kings, lesser thrones, watchers turned rebels, assigned to twist the hearts of Persian rulers, to delay and pervert God's purposes. Gabriel struck first, his light searing, his voice declaring the word. But the prince countered with lies, ancient words of power stolen from the high places. The clash shook the spiritual realm. They fought in the corridors of power, in temples, in palaces, in dreams whispered to kings and governors. Every time Gabriel tried to break through, 1,000 whispering spirits twisted the minds of men on earth, reinforcing the barrier. Chapter 5. Michael the Archangel. On the 21st day, just as Gabriel's strength waned, a horn sounded in the high realm. Descending like a storm was Michael, the Archangel, the warrior of God, the defender of Israel. Wreathed in holy fire, his sword forged in the breath of God himself, Michael roared into the battle, cleaving through legions of shadow. He locked eyes with the Prince of Persia. "Let the will of God be done." Their blades met, and the sky burned. For hours, days, weeks, the battle raged, unseen by human eyes. The heavens thundered, and storms broke out across the Middle East as signs of the spiritual upheaval. At last, Michael cast the prince aside and created a breach. Gabriel flew downward, wings trailing fire, and reached Daniel by the river. Chapter 6. The future unfolds. Gabriel, now visible only to Daniel, said, "Now I will return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I go out, behold, the prince of Greece shall come." Daniel's heart sank. More battles, more darkness, yet also hope. Gabriel promised that truth had been written in the book of truth and that God's plan would not be thwarted. Epilogue: The Scrolls of Heaven. The heavenly conflict rages still. Every time a faithful heart bends in prayer, angels are dispatched. But between the throne and the earth lie dominions, thrones, and rulers of darkness. Daniel's story is not just a tale of exile, lions, or empires. It is a glimpse behind the veil, a revelation of the great war between good and evil, where prayers are arrows and faith moves armies of angels. And even now, in the unseen skies, the ancient cry echoes, "Who is like God?" For that is the name of Michael. Subscribe and like for more videos.